guys, welcome back to the UMillennials podcast. We're your hosts, Alanah
and Morgan.
And today we're talking about a lot of things, so let's just go.
Awesome.
Awesome. We were very excited, first of all, because we finally figured out how to use our microphones. So, well, we hope at least. We're very excited about that. So, we talked about Ellen DeGeneres on our second episode and everything that was going on. And within 3 days of us posting that, the world is now on this whole thing about Ellen and everything going on.
I'm not going to say you're welcome, but you're welcome.
Well, we're psychic or we know what's going on. One of them, or both. But I thought that was very funny.
Yeah, that's actually scary.
As soon as we posted, it was like, boom, boom, like, because most people were like, oh, I never realized this. And I was like, oh shit, maybe like this wasn't a great topic to talk about.
Maybe it was too soon.
Maybe we should have picked something else, but it was the perfect timing.
I know. That's why you're in charge of the shit.
That's why I'm in charge. Yeah. But that's absolutely crazy. Yeah, apparently her employees are upset because she isn't paying them or paying them properly on this leave right now. Because they're not, I don't know if they're not working at all or they're doing stuff but not as much. So they just don't feel supported.
Well, what I understood was that she gave them no warning that she was going to give them a 60% cut, like pay cut, which that's a significant amount of money. And she's making money at home. She's staying at home doing her show still. I don't know. And did you watch that one video? What was that guy doing outside? Was that security?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Okay. SOS. But yeah, it's really upsetting that she can't just support her people.
Yeah, I just think people are upset because she's still making a huge amount of money just doing all this stuff from home. And I'm sure she could have some people working for her, helping her doing it, like help, like via computer and all that stuff. But she's just choosing to not. And I get other people are probably doing it too. It's not just her, but at the same time, it just came to light that she's doing it. And when you're worth $400 million, you think you'd help your employees a little more.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I don't know. Crazy times.
Yeah, if I was worth $400 million, I'd like to think that I would help out my employees, but
I think I would too. But who knows what's going on. So I was watching this video of her with Brie Larson, who is Captain Marvel, and her and Scarlett Johansson were on the show, and I don't know, I just had another moment where I was like, oh crap, Ellen's a savage. Like the whole time I was like, oh.
Yeah, I watched that video too, and it just seemed like she was trying to throw her under the bus at all points.
She made sure she knew that either, I don't know if she doesn't like her or if she, because if people don't know who Brie Larson is, she's Captain Marvel, and she's newer to like the whole Marvel world, like universe, so she's getting a lot of backlash and she isn't really being accepted as much as she should be and just things like that. So she was on the show with Scarlett Johansson to promote her movie Captain Marvel plus Avengers at the same time.
And Scarlett Johansson plays the Black Widow.
Yeah, and she was also there promoting Avengers. And Ellen literally called her Captain America.
I know.
Right there, and then Brie Larson said, "Oh, like I don't know if this is a joke because of comedians," and then Ellen just laughs and then doesn't even say anything, just keeps laughing.
I know, and after that, I think it just went downhill because Ellen just kept on like. To me, it just seemed as if she kept on trying to put her down, kind of. At that one comment, I'm not even sure why this was brought up. It has nothing to do with the movie, about their first kiss. And Brie's like, oh, I'm not really sure, like, where I had my first kiss, if it was on screen or off screen. Ellen's like, well, how do you not remember? And then Scarlett Johansson stuck up for it and says, well, do you remember?
Yeah,
I love that so much.
You can tell how good of a person Scarlett Johansson is because she really does take her side the whole thing. Because if anyone has the time to just YouTube this video on YouTube, you'll see that she's just blatantly like leaving Brie Larson out of everything. And for people who don't know the backstory, so Brie Larson won an award for excellence in film. It was like a woman's award for excellence in films, and she decided to take that platform a few years ago, and instead of just thanking her managers and producers and other people, she decided to say her opinion on the fact that I think it's between 67 and 82% of critics in movies are white men, and she just wanted to say that this needs to change.
Yeah.
Movies that deserve to be seen and heard and get the promotion and the recognition that they normally would aren't, because they're the people who they're being made for, the communities. There's no one watching it and critiquing it early and getting access to it, like professionally, that deserves to, that are like in the same community. So
that's right.
And she just got so much backlash for saying that.
Well, because people took little snippets of her speech where she said things that I guess could be seen as,
if you take everything out of context.
Oh, exactly. Like that's the point. It was out of context.
And
but
she tried to make a few jokes and say, I'm not saying I hate white men. I hate white dudes. I'm not saying that. And she was like trying to just lighten it up a little bit.
She's just trying to bring the fact that the population isn't represented
properly at all
in the reviewers world or whatever that's called.
No, it's just she was just trying to make a point that like all these like movies that are being made to like help empower and bring light to like issues in different communities like are not being critiqued by people who are even remotely close to understanding or experiencing that kind of stuff. So they get bad reviews, or they don't get enough reviews, and then they never make it to the screen. And movies aren't just really movies in that way. They are a piece of art for the most part. Some of them are just big budgeted movies to make you laugh, but a lot of them are ways to bring light to things. Like
exactly.
Blackfish, for example. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Blackfish, okay. About the orcas.
I try to keep it out of my memory because it's sad, but it did bring light. And how many people will you meet today that will say they'll never bring their kid to SeaWorld or anything like that, Marineland, because it actually like enlightened people to understand what's going on and visualized it for them. Because when you're not experiencing things, you don't know that they're going on.
Exactly. So. And even the movies that aren't necessarily informative or documentary style, they reflect the values of society. And I took a criminal justice in movies class in university.
That's cool.
It was awesome. We watched movies every class, and we watched from I think the 50s to present day, and you've seen how the values of society changed, how even the fears of society has changed. You know it, and that's what films do. They represent what is happening, and they show you what is scary in society at the time. And I don't know, it's just because we don't know what's going on in the States or in the South, or we don't understand what's happening.
We might hear the news on it and stuff, or like little clips, but when you get to be empowered by an actual cast of people who are putting on something to teach you or explain something to you or show you what they see something as, it can really be life-changing. And there's been a lot of movies that have actually changed society. I
feel like The Help was one of those for me because I didn't really understand what they went through to get to where they are.
Well, how would you, right?
Yeah.
But something like that brings it to light where you're like, oh, wow, this is happening, because we don't see it as
exactly
much,
yeah,
or at all sometimes, right?
Another interview I seen with Brie Larson, actually it was the same interview with Scarlett Johansson. I really enjoyed how Scarlett was.
She was very
supportive.
Yeah, she knew, you could tell they were actual friends, and she was supporting her, which was really nice to see, because it was the only interview I saw with her that she actually had someone who was helping her. Through it, because you could just see how, I don't know what it is.
It's defeating. Like, I could feel how that could be draining.
Bad for her.
Yeah.
Like, she's just battling and battling and battling people constantly.
I don't know if I could have taken the first joke that Ellen said so lightly if I was her.
Which one was that again?
When she said, oh, when you're playing Captain America?
I know. She knows she knows Chris Evans. Chris Evans has been on our show how many times, who plays Captain America. She knows. They're in the same, like, she works for Universal, doesn't she, Ellen? She's in the same kind
Warner
of area.
Brothers.
Warner Brothers?
I'm not sure if it's the same thing.
Oh, it might not
They're
be at all.
brothers,
but
sisters.
She knows them all. She probably has their names in their phone. Like.
And, sorry, this is not supposed to be an alien bashing episode. We already had that.
No,
but
this is just, where there's more, we just...
But why is it that whenever two celebrities or a celebrity brings up an event, Ellen's like, oh, I must have lost the invite.
No.
Shut the fuck up, Ellen. Nobody wants you there. Like, anyways, if you haven't heard our Ellen bashing episode, please go check it out. It's episode 2. It's actually very fun. And you'll be shone some light on some reasons why I am not a fan.
Not a fan. So by the end of the interview, she plays a game with a contestant, like a audience member. And she comes down, she's so excited. You know Ellen picked this girl, or told the people to pick a Scarlett Johansson fan, because the girl came up so excited and only hugged Scarlett and wouldn't even hug.
Are you kidding?
No, it's like, sorry, I didn't send you that one, I don't think.
That's okay, but...
Yeah, she invites her up, this fan, and she runs to Scarlett, gives her a huge hug, so excited, and then Brie goes over and gives her a hug and is like trying to give her a hug, and she just didn't. And then she proceeds to give away tickets to Avengers.
Not even Captain
no,
Marvel.
No. Only the one doesn't even bring up Captain Marvel.
Oh my gosh.
And I honestly think that the reason why Ellen's being so rude to her and keeping her out of everything is because I generally think she's taken the side of all the white men. Like all of the whole side of like all of Hollywood. She decided that she doesn't like her either, because why are you going up there and saying that, maybe? I don't know.
Like, Ellen is such a huge platform. Why would you use it to tear other women down?
I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
Or maybe we're completely overreading into this, and it's not like that at all. But even if you look at these videos, Scarlett Johansson's face during it, when she said, "Oh, we're giving away tickets," and then the camera zoomed in on Brie Larson going like winking, like raising her eyebrows at the camera, like thinking it was going to be Captain Marvel. Mm. And then she says Avengers, and then Scarlett Johansson like looks down, looks at her, rolls her eyes and looks to the side, because she was even like, what the fuck?
I'm embarrassed. I feel so bad for Brie Larson. Everybody's just like tearing her down. She got casted for this fair and square, you know, and there was
She's been acting for a long time. She's finally getting the recognition she deserves. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anyone's seen the movie Room. We talked about it a few episodes ago. That was on our thing that we watched during quarantine, and it's a phenomenal movie.
Yeah,
she does such a great job. It's great. And then she makes her way up into $1 billion grossing movie, and people are still shitting on her because she's not a man, or she's not a colored woman, because of she's just not anything that they want her to be for this role.
And one thing that I hated in a video I watched, a critic had mentioned that in one of her trailers she wasn't smiling enough. And I don't know about you, but I hate when people say you should smile. In McDonald's, when I worked there as a server, even as security, people are like, you should smile. Like, no, fuck you.
Not even that. It's a superhero movie. When have you seen a male superhero smile in a trailer?
Well, that, and whose fault? It's not her. She's not the one filming the trailer. It's they
pick the well, but she's a superhero. She's not. She's supposed to be smiling. She's trying to save the world. She doesn't have time to smile. Like, she's not cooking a fucking pancake. Like, I don't understand where people get that from. Oh, you're a girl, you should be smiling. Is that like it was obviously a male critic.
Obviously.
No woman critics would be like, you didn't smile.
Yeah.
During your action scene. Oh. Like, do you see Vin Diesel smiling during...
I've never seen Vin Diesel smile in my life.
But everyone just thinks he's a powerful, respected man. If a girl doesn't smile, she's a bitch.
Yeah. Oh, don't even get me started.
But... This isn't like a feminist, like...
Yeah, I'm not... Like, I'm a woman, whatever. I don't keep up on politics. I don't keep up with pop culture. All I get is through Alanah sending me stuff. Like, so... And I wouldn't even consider myself like a full-on feminist. I'm here for women supporting women, and I shave my armpits and stuff. So I'm not like freak, like way.
No, we're both
far.
I'm more of an egalitarian, I think. Where it just basically, from what I understand of it, someone can tell me if I'm wrong. I want men and women to be equal.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone trumping the other one or anything. I just want everything to represent the ratio of the world. Like, if there's this like populations, kind of like what Brie Larson's saying, it needs to reflect the community. Everything. Right. That's what I believe. Everything should just be kind of equal.
I want to be that too. Oh. That's what I am now.
Watch it be a cult, and I just fucking tricked you.
But it's just so upsetting that she finally gets this huge role, and first of all, they're throwing her movie right in between two gigantic Avengers movies, so all of these fans are just like, well, who the fuck is this?
No one knew who she was because they didn't even have a script for her yet or anything. This poor
That's
girl
right.
shows up with no script.
She was just thrown right in. Everybody's asking her what her powers are. She's like, oh, fuck, I don't know. The poor thing. I feel so bad for her.
I know, it's just sad that I personally feel that sometimes when people stand up for what they believe in, or a topic, something they want to get to people's attention, they're just kind of shit on by the media, by people, by different demographics. Now I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong about this, but Marvel is considering ending their contract earlier. And just things like that.
Disney. Disney's CEO was talking about that.
Because she offended a majority of their demographic, because the majority of people are white men that watch Marvel movies. Like, come on.
You don't want the other 50% of the population to watch the movies?
I know, I just don't get it.
Question.
Like, I obviously get it from a business perspective, I guess, but I thought the CEO of Disney, or someone who was in charge of all the movie part of it or something, was a woman. So you think that she would stand up for women? I guess she doesn't have enough say. Or maybe she doesn't support her. I don't know.
Yeah, because there are a lot of women out there that kind of see the other side of it.
Because I do see both sides. I don't think that women have the worst, and that we're not
like, oh, poor me, I'm a female.
Some people are.
Oh, like some people are. We're not.
And
that's
I do
not my
think
stance.
that there are inequalities for men. I 100% have always advocated for men's mental health and for more men's shelters and stuff like that. I'm not saying that women have it the absolute worst these days. Obviously, in some countries, 100%. There's still a lot of human rights issues and stuff for women, and it's awful. But I do still firmly believe that when women try to speak their mind on a platform, they're never taken as serious as a man, or they're called a bitch, psycho. They're just labeled as different things. And I don't think it's just men. I think it's also women who look at them that way. Yeah. I don't know if it's a biological thing with like mating and sexual tension and jealousy and things like that. I think it's a bit of a lot of things, but it's just sad that I just think that girls, like, and women can't necessarily get as much of a positive reaction as they should when they're trying to just give light on a point that they're trying to make.
Yeah, that's right. I completely agree with that. And on the point of when a woman does something that a man does, they are completely seen differently. Just a small
double standard.
Just a small example is when I work at the bar as a bouncer. I'm one of 2, now 3 girls that work at this bar. So I'm a bouncer at this bar, and the guys will go around yelling, everybody get the fuck out. If you're not staff or sleeping with staff, get the fuck out. And people are like, oh, okay, gotta find somewhere else to party. Or they're like, get the fuck out, you can't stay here. Or I don't even know what they say. But then me, on a night where I've already worked an 8-hour shift and then went straight to the bar and worked another 4.5 hours, and I yell, hey guys, I can't go home till you do, so please leave. People are like, whoa, simmer down, like you should smile. Like, excuse me, sir, like you're 50,000 years old and why are you still here at 2:30? Please leave.
It's funny how the men were even ruder than you were. You were even being a little nicer about it, and they just...
Yeah, sometimes we'll throw a swear in and be like, hey guys, can you fucking leave, please? I want to go home. And they're like...
Do you think if you took the please out and yelled, people would respect you more for it? Or do you think they would think you're even crazier?
I've tried, honestly. Like, I can't go home till you do. Please, like, come on. I just don't understand. But it's funny because girls will almost be bitchier to me than guys will, because guys will laugh and be like, oh, well, like, do you want to go home with me or something like that? Like, some stupid, but... Girls will be like, well, fuck you then, or whatever. Like, it's interesting.
Jeez, girls, just be nice to each other.
I don't understand how hard it is.
I think it's all a competition thing. I generally think inside that most girls, unless you're really good friends with them, and I'm not saying all girls are like this because I'm not, but most girls see everyone as a competition.
Yeah.
And there's some girls who just cannot separate that from anything, and then they result in having no friends, or they can never hold on to friends because everything's just a constant battle for them.
Yeah.
Like Haley off of Too Hot to Handle. It's crazy. She's fucking crazy.
I'm just one episode in, but as soon as she walked out, I was like, bitch.
Jesus fucking Christ. She's that person that everyone hates in every situation. That person who will have a Twitter war with someone because if they said something to someone else. Why are you involved? Just fucking let them deal with their own fucking problem.
Well, that or just have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
That too, and they're just fucking like they're just fucking like like word vomiting like a bunch of profanities at everybody. and they're just getting into everyone's business about everything. I'm not shitting you. She caused so much shit in that house or whatever, that resort, wherever the hell they were. It was beautiful, but she caused so many fucking problems the whole time. And then she would sit there and be like, well, I fucking hate everyone, so that's why I'm like this. Like, I just can't wait to fucking leave. And I'm like,
sure you could left.
You're not fucking all paid for reality TV show resort trip thing. Like, what the fuck? If
I went there and I didn't like anybody, I would just go and tan for the whole time. Just leave me alone.
And relax and have a free vacation. No, she was not having it. She was so upset that she didn't like anybody. And, like, the people that she didn't like were all the cool, chill people, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously they're all kind of dumb and crazy and dramatic, but at the same time they were all pretty chill and all got along. But she just had to freaking cause a fight with everyone and be in the center of every argument.
Oh my god, I can't wait to...
She couldn't wait until she, like, found someone who, like, let her be best friends with her for a little bit and, like, just attached to her hip and, like, only liked her and only be with her and cause problems. If anyone had, like, said something to her, she'd be like, well, excuse me, and she'd get right in there and talk for her.
No.
And I'm like, you're not one of those girls. Or people, like, guys do that too, but it's just, like, there's always that one.
There's always that one person that takes the issue into their own hands.
Which is great for TV. Like, I wasn't hating on it TV-wise.
Yeah.
It's a fucking funny show.
I can't wait.
I don't know if I liked it better than Love is Blind, but I also kind of did.
It's different.
Because it was just more... There's more tension, and I felt some of the tension for them, and like, I don't know, it was just more entertaining. From
the one episode I watched, it was so funny to see how everybody's personalities changed as soon as the girl's like, and there will be no sex. Everybody just got so hateful, so I'm like, white. Damn. Like,
I know. Clammy.
And you would think that, like, some of the girls would be like, okay, that's easy, but...
No, they were all horny AF. Yeah. They couldn't handle that. And how could they? The guys were beautiful for the most part. Harry.
I know. Oh my god.
They were beautiful, some of them. Yeah. So I don't blame them for being stressed. And they did throw someone from different parts of the world. Like, they threw in, like, Australians, like, from a girl from Ireland.
She's my favorite.
I loved her. She was funny.
She's so funny.
Her and Chloe got along really well. She was from England. She had, like, long brown hair. Very ditzy.
Yeah,
they're both
the
very
ditzy one, the first one that came in. I liked her.
Yeah, so they were just funny together because they were, like, you could tell they were friends the whole time.
Right.
And they were just, they didn't fucking care.
I can't wait until I get to watch it. I'm halfway through the second episode, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
I know. It's nice.
It kind of reminds me of, like, a more bougie and sexy appeal Jersey Shore.
I guess with all the drunk
yeah.
No, I know. Way more attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though Vinny was hot. I was in love with Vinny.
Yeah, everybody was.
Yeah,
everybody was. Me and my friends would get together I think it was Thursday night, right? That it was on?
Yeah.
And we would watch that.
Jersey fucking Shore. Oh my god. I think I love Too Hot to Handle so much because it reminds me a lot of Bachelor in Paradise. And I love Bachelor in Paradise.
I never watched any of that stuff.
It's literally Too Hot to Handle, but they just...
have to pick a
They're
husband.
allowed to have sex if they want, but... And there's none of this whole, like, prize money thing at the end, I don't think. I think you just get married at the end if you, or whatever, engaged.
So, just so I understand, there's $100,000 for whoever... For everybody?
No,
or
it's like a pool.
Oh, and then they...
/ only one person could win. Basically, I think it was whoever follows the rules and has actually grown and done the steps and became better of a person, blah, 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 gets the money.
So it's one of those things where whenever people do something against the rules, then the whole pot goes down.
Yeah, if they have sex, if they kiss, if they touch, like, sexually anything, like, money gets taken off.
Halfway through the second episode, and Harry's always like, can I just stick it in a little bit?
I know.
Francesca's like, no. Fuck.
Oh, God. Like, the temptation was real, though. I could tell. Like, that'd be stressful. Like, it'd be hard for a whole... It's not just, like, it's a week or two. Like, that's, like, 8 weeks.
That's like the summer.
That's a bit excessive.
Who's the baby cheetah?
Baby cheetah.
Yeah, there's this one girl at the first episode, and she's like, to that British guy, oh, you know what would look really good on that tattoo? A baby cheetah. And then she calls herself a baby cheetah because she
I know who you're talking. I know. I remember that scene now, but I forget what her name was.
Oh well, doesn't matter.
Baby Cheetah. Was it not Chloe's friend?
I'm not sure.
The
She was
Irish
black.
girl. Oh, it's Rhonda.
Oh yes,
I love
yes.
Rhonda.
Mm-hmm.
She's really cute.
Yeah,
I loved her.
She is.
Her and Sharon.
Oh yeah.
Versus David. I loved David too. David was
I don't
really
like
cool.
David's face. He's not my
his
style.
His personality was perfect.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah. He's not my style.
Jesus
fucking the amount of Jesus jokes they made, I was dying. And then constantly they're like, anytime someone would be like, oh, I'm enlightened or this or that, they'd be like, oh, and then she was just fucking sitting.
Does he ever take his shirt off?
Possibly once, but I think he mostly wore wife beaters and like shirts and like long, those like Egyptian desert pants, like the really like Mick Jagger flowy pants that people wear in extremely hot weather. The really thin pants.
Oh my god.
It was his vibes.
Awesome, yeah.
He loves spiritual. It's so funny. You're gonna see later on when spoiler, a love interest of his possibly quickly comes. I'm not gonna spoil anything for you, but it was just funny. You're just gonna. You have a lot to look
forward to. I can't wait. Oh my gosh.
Now I'm screwed though. I have like nothing else to watch on Netflix.
Yeah, you're done.
What happens is something comes on and I'm like, woo! And then in one day it's done. I watch it all.
I don't understand
8
how
episodes.
you do that and get everything done.
I just in the background. And then
no,
nighttime,
that's not watching it.
No, I'm watching it. I just sit there and I'm eating or whatever and I watched it. But what I'll do is I'll start at like 6 or 7 at night and I'll watch it till like 2 in the morning and then go to sleep and then wake up at 8.
Brutal.
It's not healthy. I don't do it all the time, but that's just like one time when a show comes out. I just watch it all and then I sleep normally for the rest of the week until something else comes out. Like I was like that with Ozark.
Ozark.
Love is Blind, everything that comes out. That's why it benefits me more when they only put one out every week.
Yeah, because so you don't binge it.
It's almost like they're forcing me to balance my life. They're like, you don't need that much at once, honey.
Oh my god.
It's crazy to think about people on those shows like as parents.
I know.
Just because, first of all, imagine your kids watching that in 10, 15, 20 years from now. Like the Kardashians stuff, for example. Like the amount of stuff they have, their lives on TV. I guess their kids are just so used to it because they're living in the
yeah. Would you really go back if you were South North or whatever her face is?
Northwest?
Yeah.
South North? What are you fucking talking about?
But imagine being one of their kids and like living that. You wouldn't want to be going back and watching it.
Yeah, I guess. But at the same time, like imagine being their kid. Like no, you wake up and you're just like wake up in your huge house. You walk through, everything's just marble. There's nothing on the counters or the tables or anything. It's. Have you seen their house? Like
no.
It's the most minimalistic house you could ever see. It's all white.
Really?
It's all white. It's all like shapes and like it's very modern.
They have no stuff.
And minimalistic. Yes, it's like extremely expensive things, but you'll have your huge like dining room table, but there'll be nothing on it.
Do they eat at these tables?
I'm sure, but for every picture and people are there, it's like extremely minimalistic.
Yeah.
I think it's for photo wise and stuff like that. I'm assuming, or maybe they just like
minimalist.
That.
Yeah.
I don't think they're minimalists.
Yeah.
They have lots of stuff. I just think their decor style.
Oh, okay.
Is very extremely modern.
Yeah, I don't keep up with the Kardashians.
I don't watch their show anymore. I used to when I was younger and stuff. I know what's going on. Like
my sister got so mad at me when I went to LA. She was like, "Well, you won't even know what a Kardashian looks like if you see them." Oh. Like, sorry, Taylor.
Short and brown hair.
Yeah. God.
That's so funny. Yeah, you're like the worst person to go to LA.
I know.
Because you don't know anything about
I know. I don't.
I think we should change our whole point of view on this podcast and just have it as a, where I explain things to you that you don't know, because that's basically what we do.
Yeah.
It's just like.
It's like, oh.
You know the videos where they give like older people marijuana for the first time and they see how they are? That's our podcast. It's like, here's information, read it. And then Morgan's like, holy fuck.
Like, what is happening?
She's like, I need to talk about this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why aren't people talking about this? Oh my God. But yeah, it's really funny to think about this, like people our age being parents.
I know. There's only a few friends of ours and just people I know that have kids, and I'm like, how? Like, I couldn't imagine right now having a kid. Fuck. Like, my cats are enough to handle. They drive me up the wall, and I love them to death. But I couldn't imagine having a child right now. And I'm not saying I wouldn't love it. Like, if I had a child, I'm just not ready for one.
Right.
I can't even get my life together half the time. But
I feel that.
It's just weird. It's going to be weird when we finally get into a part where all of us kind of have kids. And it's going to be like, it's going to be exciting but strange.
I know.
Like, how will we all be? I think we'll be great parents. I think a lot of us will be.
I think so. I think the biggest struggle for us will be, do you raise your kid as you were raised with almost no screen time, all outside, all interactive, or do you blend, or do you cave in and give them?
It's not even caving in. I think if you asked me a year or two ago, I'd be like, well, my kids aren't going to spend a lot of time in technology. It's not good for them. But now I'm like, dude, like, look at this podcast. You know how much technology we need to do this? Like, we need like laptops and cords and microphones, and you have to know software and different things like that. If our kids want to develop in the world we're putting them into, they need to know this. Obviously, you need to promote being outside and doing activities, but I think equally they need to know how to work technology, and they need time on it.
Well, what do you mean? Like, a 2-year-old can open up YouTube and find the videos that they want
because their parents let them play with it. I'm saying, but like, you need to let your kid do that. Yeah. Your kids need to learn how to use all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
They do. Like, you could be a hippie if you want and tell them not to, but you're setting them back, because if they decide they don't want to live a lifestyle where they're around that much technology and they want to do something else, good. But don't set them up for failure by not letting them have the experience.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, like, I didn't really think about having kids until recently because I was so scared. And I realize now that it was a fear of everything, a fear of birth, fear of... It's just such a scary thing. Like, what happens to your vagina after? I don't want to know. No. And the thing that goes in your back.
Epidural.
Yes.
The thing I was like, what the fuck do you think birth is? I was very confused.
Like, I used to joke and say, okay, I'll have kids when it can grow outside of my body.
Fuck. Like in a test tube?
In a little incubator. And I can watch it grow. Like,
dude, that's fucking creepy.
I don't want it to come out of me.
Oh my god.
But like, I think I could be okay. I've only held one baby that was new.
Just adopt. That's what I want to do.
But then no, I can't, because you see too many things of this, like, the genes, you don't know where they're coming from, nature versus nurture. And did you see that one where the 30-year-old woman who had this deficiency, so she looked like a 6-year-old.
Yeah, she contoured. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she got adopted, and then she tried to kill them.
Okay, that's a very radical, extreme version of an...
I live my life in extremes.
That is not the norm. That's an exception, first of all.
It's too
Second
scary.
of all, you can birth a baby and it be a psychopath and murder you as well.
But, honest, like, I don't know. It would be... Like, I'm not a psychopath. My boyfriend's hopefully not a psychopath.
But is nature versus nurture actually, like, what do you lie on more the nature side or the nurture side?
I think it's a mixture of both. You could argue either way, because are my parents raising me similar to the way that their parents raised them? If I look at it, no. But as I grow up, more things slip into my life, into my personality, and to just me as a person. That is my mom or my dad. Yeah. I am almost probably 98% my mom when I talk, when I do anything. And it gets more and more every day.
So you'd say that's nurture or nature?
I would say that's nature. I think it's I think even if I was grown up in a different, if I was adopted, say, I would still be this way. Like, it's just things that are a part of you.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I think obviously you can teach people to do a lot of things. I think nurture is a lot of things that you can nurture people to be harder workers and different things, but I don't think you could ever nurture people to be nice, to have there's a lot of things like kindness, things like that you can't always teach people.
Or
it's kind of just like a thing you're born.
Yeah, like
obviously you can show people how to be nice, and it will be like, it will help and maybe enhance it, and I'm sure you can raise people to be nicer, but I don't think you can raise someone to be nice if they weren't meant to be nice.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
That's a good way of looking at it. I don't know. There's a lot of things that just pop up because all the kids say, oh, I'm not going to be like my parents. But like, I have no reason to say that because my parents are awesome. But
I think some people aren't though. Like there's two routes. Like when people are born in like a crack addict house and their parents are
and then they come out of it and
they're doctors or lawyers, or they're just not even if they didn't become professionally successful in a career that way, at least they're clean and they're not. Like there's some people who decide, no, I don't want to be like my parents, and there's some people who just go towards, because history does repeat itself unless you break it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I believe, right?
There's I don't know, it's very interesting. I think it's kind of both, and they weigh
I think
off
we'll
each
always
other.
be both a little bit.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
But
like pit bulls, for example, like they are naturally a more aggressive dog, but if you train the dog properly and actually take care of it and respect it, it's not going to be as very aggressive.
I don't think they're naturally aggressive. I think
aren't they more naturally aggressive than other dogs just because aren't they bred to fight and stuff like that?
Well, they're original. I'm not sure what they were originally bred for, but they were made into fighting dogs. It's not their fault. Like
but they were bred. Now their nature is like that because they're bred into that.
But they're the most loving dogs. Oh,
we lived next door to a pit bull. I've never had problems with pit bulls.
No.
I think it's crazy that people have labeled the dog.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like, I don't think it's in their nature, but I think that they're
human-produced nature kind of thing, like man-made.
If you take a puppy from a fighting dog, like that puppy is not going to be a good fighting dog unless they lock it in a closet or torture it or do whatever they do to make that dog whatever. You know what I mean? Pit bull is a one-master dog. They need one strong alpha, and they'll follow it loyally. But if that alpha like is aggressive towards it, puts it in a closet and locks it in there for days, doesn't feed it, and then puts it into a ring and tells it to kill this dog, and then they get all that energy, like...
Yeah, well, that's a lot of animals, so if you give them terrible energy, they're gonna...
Exactly. So it's... But that puppy, if you take that puppy from that extremely aggressive dog that was made that way, that puppy doesn't have the aggression bred into it.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's got personality.
So. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not an expert.
No, we're not experts on anything. This one's called Unaccompanied Millennials.
Exactly.
We were trying to figure shit out with you. That's why we keep saying, if you fucking know something we don't, or we say something that's wrong, just let us know.
Yeah, but please be nice about it. Like, we're not...
We've already been attacked once.
Really?
Well, by that one random person through Instagram. It wasn't like attack to mean, it was like a weird attack.
Yeah, well, he's said that we sound cute, so SOS.
But it was like a really weird channel. It was like a nude cartoon channel.
So that wasn't an attack. That was a predator.
Morgan just did like a reel it in like hand motion at the same time.
So anyways, we get on tangents.
Sometimes.
I think that millennials will be great parents because we're very accepting to things, and I hope our kids won't feel like they need to hide anything from us, because anything that they could think of doing, I've probably already done it. Or
we're way more open-minded too. Like, I'm not saying the whole generation of our parents isn't open-minded, but a lot of them are very stubborn, and a lot of them have grown to understand, and they're trying. Yeah, but there are, and obviously there's gonna be people in our generation who are stuck in ways which I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where have you been living? Under a fucking rock?
Well, yeah, it depends.
Some people, but
it's upsetting.
Like, when I see people like commenting on videos saying, "Oh, you're ugly, you're fat," things like that, I'm just like, what?
Who says that?
What are you doing? Is this a movie? Because you know, in movies when you see people bullying people, and you're like, that is not real. No one does that in fucking real life. Yeah. They do through fucking comment sections on videos.
Oh my gosh.
They do. It's like the most vicious thing ever. These poor people. Like, there's no need to just say that.
No, there's no need for any of it.
Yeah, you're right, you're ugly, blah, 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 or this, or like they're just, I'm like, what the fuck? Just because you're behind a screen like, this person's getting 100,000 of these a day. That's detrimental to some people's health, like mental health, especially younger people. Holy fuck.
I know.
Like, if we get big enough that's what's happening, come at me. I'm gonna start punching people through the fucking comment section.
Take that.
Punch emoji.
I'm not even gonna read I don't have time to read comments like that, but
no.
I don't know. It's just, I'm really excited for the generation that we get to parent, but I'm also very scared for it because if people are already this hostile over,
I'm also very nervous about bake sales. What the fuck do you bring to it? Fresh
banana
fruit
bread.
Kebabs? I don't.
Oh, gluten. Dairy.
You can't have gluten.
Shit.
You can't have nuts. You can't have dairy. By the time we get there, there'll be no preservatives or anything. Sugar,
no bake sales.
Nothing.
There'll be no bake sales.
There will not be. I have a prediction that there will not be bake sales by the time we are parents, because you cannot trust people's. You don't. There's no bake sale because at that point it'll be like, no one actually.
Garage sale.
You're not allowed to bring food into the school.
Yeah. How do you eat? How do the kids eat?
They'll be like
Through
made for them, or they can eat their own food, but you're not allowed to share or something like that. Like, for sure, it's because every time we take a step forward, things like that, like, oh, no nuts, oh, no gluten. I get it, people are just nuts, especially at a younger age.
There was kids allergic to nuts in my school, and I brought peanut butter almost every day.
But at the same time, you start getting more specific, like no gluten. Okay, like, no one's gonna be sitting across a room and smell the gluten and have a reaction. At least I don't think there is.
I know my boyfriend's ex, he said that she had a gluten allergy, and if he had eaten something like pizza that was a normal pizza and then kissed her, like, it would hurt her internal, like, she would get sick.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Or is she just saying that to, like,
I don't know. But that's what he said, and I believe it.
Really?
Kind of. Yeah, like, just like a fish allergy.
Not airborne though, for gluten. I'm sure some are. Like, I know peanuts, like, can be.
Fish.
The smell of it and stuff could. But can you really have an airborne gluten allergy?
I don't know.
Let us know.
It's not airborne, like, it's on the lips, right? Like, he said.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just saying you can't. But by the end of it, there's one kid in the school with a kiwi allergy, and no one's allowed fucking kiwi. You know what I mean? Like, it just keeps progressing,
honestly,
to the point where eventually it's just getting more and more and more and more strict. Because once you allow one rule to slip, people are like, well, what about me? I'm allergic to orange juice, and then your kids aren't allowed to bring orange juice. Like, you know what I mean? It just keeps. Yeah, it just keeps progressing.
It gets excessive.
There's because the line just keeps getting
pushed.
But
what is creating all of these allergies? Like, I'm concerned.
They were always there. People just, I have an allergy. Oh, I deal with it. Now I have an allergy, so y'all have to deal with it. Don't bring anything.
That's right. Yeah.
I think.
See,
or people are having more allergies, or people are realizing they have allergies because they're getting tested before it wasn't a thing, and people just knew something made them sick, or they just didn't realize that thing was making them sick.
That was me. For the longest time, I would anything like bread, dairy. I wasn't sure what it was. So then finally I went to a naturopath because none of the doctors believed me. They're like, well, just keep a food journal and tell me what makes you sick. Okay, everything. Like, everything makes me feel sick, and my stomach would just not be okay. So I went to a naturopath and did a bunch of tests, and the guy, first you had to bring in like a little cup of your urine. They did a little pH test or some sort of acidity test. I don't know. And then they would swab your mouth and take a prick of blood. And you could see your blood up on the screen on a microscope. It was super cool. And they took a heat picture of my body.
Yes, you told me.
Yeah, so he walks in and he looks at the pictures before he even talks to me. I had no idea what's happening, doesn't see any of the other tests. Comes in, you have a gut problem, don't you? I'm like, yes, please help me. Yeah, so it turns out I had this thing called leaky gut, and no medical professional acknowledges it because it's something that can be fixed through just taking things out of your diet and healing your gut.
If they can't prescribe a pill.
That's right. Exactly.
Don't get me started.
For years and years, I was going to my doctor saying, like, every time immediately after eating a meal, I would have to get up and go to the washroom. That's no way to live your life.
No.
So then I fixed my leaky gut, and like, it's a whole other life. And who's Dr. Martin? We're not he's not a promo or anything, but he's great. He's from Sudbury, Ontario. Like, if you have any sort of health issues, go look him up. He literally saved my life.
Your whole body glows up when you go in there. Me, just
he'd be like,
SOS.
Yeah,
SOS.
no.
He's like, so you have a full body problem.
No, but it's so, and because my sinuses, I've always had sinus issues.
Mm-hmm.
My sinuses lit up and my gut lit up. And he's like, oh, this is the problem.
Jeez,
because the leaky gut was sending yeast through my body, and it would fill up or like get stuck in certain areas of my body. Wow. It was really weird. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I just don't think people were aware. I think that's a constant thing, is we're constantly becoming more aware of everything, which brings us to come up with answers and conclusions and like, how do we fix this? So it just makes things more and more and more strict. Think of all the new laws being passed constantly, right? Like, they weren't there 10 years ago. And people say, well, people still did this 10 years ago. Well, yeah, but now they finally, like, it just constantly, things are kind of, which is a good thing. Like, we're progressing, but at the same time, some things it's just like,
it's
excessive. Like, it's a little excessive. Like, I get we're trying to go for the greater good of everyone, but at the same time,
are we gonna have like 5 different lunchrooms? One for gluten-free, one for peanut-free, one for nut-free, one for egg-free. I don't even know what the different...
It might, like, who knows, right? By the next 10 years when our kids are going to school, or if we even have kids, but in 15 years.
Yeah.
Everyone's having kids later and later now, so who even knows by the time everyone starts having kids. And we're going to have even less kids than any other generation.
Yeah.
It's going to keep just getting less and less. I can't see anyone having more than 2 or 3 at the most.
I know, like 2 would be
like back in the day, it was like 12 kids of
my dad
family,
is the
5,
youngest of 8.
4.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's too much. If I'm having more than 2 kids, it's because I've adopted. I'm serious.
Honestly.
I love it, the fact of adopting. Like, there's so many kids out there that need a home and need a place, and that they don't have, they're going to be stuck in a system of foster care. Why would, if anyone can afford it and has an open heart, like, I could love my adopted child this exact same as like my own blood child, and I know that already because I love my cats so fucking much, and I definitely didn't push them out. So
yeah, what's that one movie?
Instant Family.
Yeah,
I love it. I watched it 6
good.
times over and over again. I watch it. I love that movie.
So good.
So funny.
It is. It makes me cry in multiple places.
Good. I know.
It's so good.
And they love those kids the same amount as they would love their own children.
Exactly.
Like, blood. Like, I don't, but I've always been a big believer at that, for me at least, that blood is not superior to how the people in my life, like, I'm closer to people who aren't blood than my own blood in a lot of cases.
Yes, I feel that as well.
Yeah.
When I'm pretty
family
oriented.
You are, and with your blood family, because you have a great family.
Yeah.
But some people aren't as lucky in some things, so.
Pretty exciting.
Thinking about it? I know. Like, I'm just excited for I like new chapters, because it's crazy how you're in a part of your life and you're like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
And then like a year or 2 later, you're like, oh yeah, fuck, like, I used to do something like that back then, or I used to live there, or I used to do this. Like, things are always changing. You just don't realize. Like, I never would have thought we were doing this a few years ago.
No.
I know we've been talking about it for a while, but like, to actually put it in play.
Yeah, I know. And my next chapter is coming soon. I want to buy a house. I'm going to buy a house. It's just getting the money and understanding what's happening, because I'm not financially secure or like literate.
Oh,
like I don't understand things. Like, I just recently found out that there's a mortgage, and then there's a different type of mortgage that you can get. Like,
oh, like different options.
Yeah.
Right?
I thought it was one thing. You go, I want to buy a house. They're like, okay.
There's tons of different mortgages.
Oh God, help me.
Yeah, and there's different lines of credit you can get for it. There's different options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I always thought, you gotta have like half the money for your house. Yeah, who knew?
No.
Lots of people, but oh my God.
Jeez, eh?
Yeah.
No. You want a good 20%, I think. Yeah. Especially for first-time home buyers, it's a bit more, because you've got to show them that you're serious about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20% and then some extra just in case.
You always want extra in your bank account to make sure, if like your water heater breaks your first week in there, air conditioner busts, window breaks, like different things like that. You also have to pay for your insurance, your property taxes.
Insurance.
That's scary. Like no one really in our age that I know owns a house yet. I'm sure there's a few people. Yeah, there's a odd few people, but for the most part, everyone's still in fucking school. We're still trying to get a fucking career.
I'm not even technically renting a house. I'm living in an Airbnb right now. Like, what's happening? Like,
looks like a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, what is happening right now?
The walls are orange and yellow.
It's just crazy, because if you would have told me last year at this time that I would be in an Airbnb doing a podcast rather than getting ready to go up to Kenora, I'd be like, fuck you.
You're fucking funny. Ain't no crystal ball telling you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're here.
We're here.
Jesus. But I think it's meant to be.
I think so too. I keep on seeing 11:11 everywhere.
I know you keep saying that. You put that in the story for the page.
I'm just gonna throw this in here. I am a huge believer in like the universe and signs, and everything happens for a reason.
Morgan's gonna teach us on an episode.
Eventually.
Yeah.
And alignment. I've just recently figured out alignment and all of this stuff, but I used to think it was my grandma or my grandpa or loved ones just checking up on me, but now I know that that's just dimes from heaven or dollars from heaven. We had a psychic come during Christmas time and read my sister, my mom, my aunt, and a few of my cousins. And she told us that my grandma presents herself through dimes and my grandpa presents himself through dollars.
Like the actual coins?
Yeah, so
okay.
I don't know if you are familiar with pennies from heaven, but
no.
And when you most need it, usually you'll see a dime or a penny anywhere, and you know it's from them. Like you get this feeling.
Never had that.
Really?
No.
I get it all the time. I'll find dimes or dollars and people will be like, oh well, people drop money all the time.
Me, that's what I
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
But to see it at that time, at that specific time, at that location, right when you need it, that's something that...
But how do you know that person represents with that coin?
Well, my psychic told me,
but before that,
because we had read an article on pennies from heaven, and it's just, they pop up in places where you couldn't even imagine.
Oh, I'm agreeing with you on, like, yours signs. Is that. I believe in signs because I've had some crazy fucking signs. Like, randomly, like, you're thinking about someone who you haven't thought about in 10 years, or you see a word or a phrase or a thing, and then boom, 10 minutes later, or you're in a different place and see the same thing.
Yeah.
Or that person's there and you're like, what the fuck?
Or
happens to me all the time.
Do you ever think of a song and then it comes on?
Things like that all the time.
So
I'll be thinking about a situation and it'll play it on the TV and the movie 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
Like the exact same thing with a name. And I'm like, oh, barf. Like I literally yak.
Yeah, just stuff like that happens to me all the time. Recently, like in the winter time, we were making pierogies from Walmart. Just a box of pierogies.
From Walmart.
A box of pierogies, open the pierogies. Tyler is making them, and I go to break down the box, and there's a penny from 1994 in the box.
No, there's not.
Yes,
in the pierogi box.
I still have the penny.
Does that year mean anything?
Pardon?
Does that year mean anything?
1994 is the year I was born.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So.
Weird.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. When?
Yeah.
Like February, March. Yeah.
When we were starting everything.
Yeah, I loved it. Like, it was so insane. Tyler was joking around and said that it was his penny because he had bought the pierogies, but I was the one that found it, so I knew it was meant for me.
And had your birth year.
Well, he's born in 94 too, but like, it was for me.
I'm just kidding.
100%.
Okay, so here's a sign. So I don't associate with the penny or coins one because I've never...
Yeah,
it just doesn't associate with me.
I promise.
But... So when I was younger, my aunt and uncle had a Dalmatian. And the poor thing died at 2. It was heartbreaking for me. I love that dog. We always went four-wheeling with him. His name was Joe Boy. He was adorable. I loved him to death. I still remember crying on their bed.
Aww.
Because it heartbroke me because he died from a porcupine.
Oh, that's
It was the saddest thing ever. Okay. So I've never thought about having another Dalmatian, even though it was technically my aunt and uncle's, but I associated it with me when I was younger. I have so many pictures with them and stuff, because it just was too hard. But now, recently, I've been like, you know what? I think when I finally get a dog, Neil and I think I want a Dalmatian. And Neil goes, that's fucking weird that you said that, because I just saw one on a walk with my mom, and I think I also want a Dalmatian.
Wow.
And we were talking about how beautiful it was. And I was like, you know what? Like, maybe that. And I was like, really? He was like, I swear to God. I was like, huh. Maybe that's a sign that, like, we should, like, because I was like, that's kind of crazy. 2 days later, I'm going for a drive to Morgan's. This was a while ago. We're in quarantine. Just so we don't get heated. This was about a month, 2 months ago, right before everything started happening. And on the drive there, I see a woman walking a Dalmatian down the street. I haven't seen a Dalmatian, a real one, in like where we live or in person in about 15 years.
Yeah,
I have not seen, maybe even ever. Besides, like, they're a rare dog.
I don't think I've ever seen one in real life.
Yeah, 2 days later. After he saw one, he hadn't seen one in years and years and years. And we're talking about that, and then he says, I just saw one. I see one. And see, things like that are my signs. Constantly knowing that I'm in the right
path.
It's or weird. Dimension? Question mark? I don't know. No. But I was like, fuck me. I think that's a sign that I'm on the right path. I think.
You always just have a feeling that you're on the right path. You know what I mean?
Yeah, things that always seem to work out. Even if shitty things happen, because it's inevitable. I always find that it always ends up working out at the end, for the most part.
I've never been in a situation where I felt like I was completely defeated.
No, there's always something that brings.
I am generally a very positive person, so everything's gonna work out. I know it.
It's the work you put into it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if we started just putting out one of these a week and not really posting or anything, or putting effort into them, or thinking through what we're going to talk about or anything, like, this would go nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're trying to be positive, and it's not because we want to make lots of money or throw dollar bills at chicks or have bougie parties in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
We just want to get better at this and become a thing where we really enjoy doing, and it just becomes like muscle memory. A community of people who also think about us, because this podcast to us is us talking about actual things that are going on. We're not sitting here talking about what dick was bigger and Tinder dates. Like, we'll talk about funny things like that, obviously, but eventually we want to talk about real stuff that's going on. Yeah. Who's with us? We don't want to bore you. So let us know. Probably like, we're bored. We've been fucking hanging on for an hour, and you're just fucking babbling. God. But yeah, so this was an interesting one. Yeah, this was we got an array of topics in here. No boomers sticking through this. No. As my stepdad says. Hi, any boomer. Well, I think my mom's gonna enjoy my mom one? Sticks it through. Well, that's good. So did my aunt and uncle people. Yeah, so there's boomers here, Wayne. They're not boomers, your mom. Is she not? What's a boomer? Like... Oh, we're gonna take that out. Cut that. 60 years old. No, she's not. You called her a boomer? Jane's gonna be pissed. I'm taking that out. Oh my god. Poor Jane. Your dad, you're gonna walk in next time, they're gonna be standing in the kitchen waiting for you. What are they, Generation Z? Sure. They're the one just above us. Like, your grandparents are boomers. Not your... That's embarrassing. I apologize formally. Yeah, I think, at least. I really don't think your mom's a boomer. I thought they were... A baby boomer. What are those after World War II? My grandpa was in World War II, so he gave birth to, like, his generation gave birth to my mom. I don't think your mom's... I don't know. There's if she is, involved. Maybe... And I apologize everyone else for thinking you're really old. The boomers. We actually got a message that said... Oh, I love this. Unaccompanied millennials is something a boomer would say. And I was like, okay. Okay, we'll take it. I love it. I love it. I never thought of it that way. I mean, I guess that's something people would say, oh, you're just unaccompanied. I guess. Yeah, true. Like, here we are. Here we are, confused in an Airbnb. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We're just rambling on.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking it out this long.
Thanks for sticking it out. This was just one of our many rambles.
Yes.
We're sober.
We are.
Maybe
usually.
that's why we're rambling.
Maybe. All right, guys. Again, thanks for listening. Leave us a 5-star rating. Let us know what you think of our episode in the comments. And if you want to hear anything specific, share with your friends. Please, please, please. Tag us, tag your friends in a story.
Because then we know you like it.
Exactly. We just want to know. We just want some gratification. Some feedback.
Some gratification.
I don't know. New episodes are released every Wednesday. Subscribe to your favorite listening platform so you never miss an episode.
And if you like it so much and you keep sharing, we'll also post on Fridays.
Ooh, yes. 2 episodes a week. That's what we're working for, people.
We're working for. We just need to know.
Yes, just please let us know.
Do you want it?
All right. So make sure that you stay safe, stay healthy.
And stay connected.
Bye.
Bye.